Welcome to Badminton Unlimited, your weekly access to badminton action and beyond. We have a 1-2 combination in this week's show as we visit Dubai with badminton great Peter Gader and men's singles star Kidambi Srikanth as they promote the game in the Emirate. And we're in Brunei to profile a sports school hoping to lay the foundations for the growth of badminton in the country. The last 18 months have seen a number of top-flight international shuttlers visiting Dubai. Known for its innovative architecture, extravagant living, and world-class events, the Emirates' powerful sports body, Dubai Sport Council, penned a 3-year deal with Badminton World Federation to bring the best players from the tour to take part in the season-ending Dubai World Superseries finals. It also meant that the likes of men's singles world champion Chen Long, women's singles star Saina Nehwal, and men's doubles world champions Mohammad Hassan and Hendra Setiawan, to name a few, have travelled to Dubai not only to promote the year-ending tournament, but also to encourage the growth of the sport. This time around, it was the turn of India's #1 men's singles player Kidambi Srikanth and badminton legend and former world #1 Peter Gader.
In order to compete against other sports, we need to showcase badminton at its very highest level, and we need to take care of our stars as well. We need to show our stars the best way we can, and I think what we're doing, for example, here in Dubai is surely steps in the right direction.
I've grown up watching some of the greats of badminton, and now me at that stage, inspiring people is like I'm very happy to do it because I'm here only because of badminton. I'm happy to give back something to the badminton as a sport.
Both had travelled directly from the Yonex French Open. Srikanth had been competing in the World Superseries event, while Gader was watching over his charges in his new role as the French national team coach. It was to be a busy day for the pair as they took a whirlwind tour of Dubai in a bid to promote the sport, and we were with them every step of the way. First up was an early morning visit to the radio studios to meet the hosts of The Breakfast Show.
Good morning!
It's not the first time that Srikanth has been in Dubai, of course. The 22-year-old's late surge at the close of last season meant he qualified for the finale in Dubai.
It's nice to have tournaments like tournaments in these places, like where there's no badminton. BWF is really doing good thing to promote it, and then the way they organized it last year was really superb. The stadium was superb. They have a very good gallery there. And the way they organized it was really well.
He certainly enjoyed his visit the first time round. Despite his late participation in the tournament, he made it all the way to the semi-finals before being downed by eventual champion Chen Long. So as the stars made their way to the newly built Dubai Stars Sportsplex to mix with the children taking part in the Shuttle Time Dubai Schools Championships, Srikanth's thoughts were very much on returning in December to have another shot and maybe this time grabbing the gold.
You play 12 Super Series tournaments to qualify for the Super Series finals. So it's a very important tournament for us, and you get so many points here. And this year being the qualification year, we like to have as many points as we can. So this tournament seriously has the best points. It's the best grade tournament after the World Championships.
A quick goodbye to the kids and he was off on his travels yet again. But this time, he was on his own. A visit to the Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Center for Cultural Understanding was next for him as he was given an insight to the Emirati way of life. We wanted to know how his rise up the world rankings had impacted him and badminton in his country.
The game is getting popular now in India, so people starting to watch the badminton now on TV, and then people getting to know me now. Not exactly so much, but at least few of them know me. So it's good that the sport is getting popular, and then thanks to Saina, Kashyap, there were a few senior players who did it for the last few years.
Although currently ranked 5th in the world, the 2015 season has been a bit of a mixed bag for Srikanth. He won a Super Series at the Yonex Sunrise India Open and a Grand Prix gold title at the Swiss Open, but has failed to make it to the weekend at most of the other major tournaments. He continues to search for the rhythm to his performances that will bring him the consistency he needs to maintain his rise up the rankings.
It's always tough to be there, like in the top 5, and not only top 5. It's wherever you are. It's tough to be there because even if you take top 8, it's tough to be there because there's like players in top 20 where where anybody can win at any stage. So it's tough. You have to be your 100. You have to give your 100% every match you play.
As he mentioned earlier, the rest of the year through to May is the qualification period for the Rio Olympics, and he's hoping to be there. He wants to achieve something no Indian shuttler has ever done at the Summer Games: stand at the very top of the Olympic podium.
I have a dream of winning a medal there in Olympics. That's the ultimate thing for me to win. And then to get qualified there, not about thinking really about till April, May, but I have many tournaments coming up this year, so I'm currently focusing on it. But it's like, you perform in these tournaments, you'll definitely be there in the Olympics.
So as he takes a well-deserved break from his hectic schedule, so do we. Later in the show, we'll catch up with Srikanth and Gaida as they complete their tour of Dubai.
My favorite food is rujak. Gone with the wind. Is when I win in All England 79. One thing that not many people know me, that I'm very easy to forget something. If I'm a superhero, then I want to be a Superman, Superwoman, because I can fly, so I can go to anywhere.
Time to test your badminton knowledge. We want you to guess who this player is. I am a former world number 1. I made my senior international debut in 2006. I am a world champion at both junior and senior levels. We tell you the answer later in the show. We're in Brunei when we get back as we find out how a sports school is trying to help the growth of badminton in the country. The next stop for our Badminton Unlimited team is the sovereign state of Brunei Darussalam. Translated as the abode of peace, the oil-rich sultanate sits on the northwest coast of the island of Borneo, where pristine rainforest covers close to 3/4 of its land. Like any nation, sport is enjoyed across the country and among all ages, with football being the most popular. On the international front, though, Brunei is still playing catch-up, and badminton is no exception. The country in the 1990s hosted tournaments like the Brunei Open, with top shuttlers like Indonesia's Taufik Hidayat, Malaysia's Rashid Siddiq, and China's Zhang Ning gracing the podium. But those are distant memories now.
Brunei is a country that focuses a lot on education, and sport is more or less just a part-time or just a passion or hobby. There was never really a dedicated full-time professional national team. It was more of some of my seniors at the time, they go to work in the morning, and then in the afternoon, if they have time, they come to training. And then for myself, I study in the morning during high school at the time. And then after my school in the morning, I would come to training in the afternoon. And after a good coach left the national setup, there wasn't anyone else to fill in his shoes, and the players felt that there was nobody else to guide them.
As Bruneians value education, what better way than to introduce a sports school where academics and sport coexist? The Ministry of Education, after obtaining the consent from the Sultan and Yang di Pertuan of Brunei Darussalam, established the Brunei Sports School in 2003 in its capital, Bandar Seri Begawan.
The vision of Brunei Sports School is to develop and excel in sports, and then whereas the mission of Brunei Sports School is to have a center of sports training and academic through systematic training programs, and to further nurture the athletes of Brunei according to their sports.
Of course, this school has everything infrastructure-wise. The facility here, we've got 8 carpet courts. We've got a gym, a fully equipped gym next door, and we've got a track and field.
Like any other sports school, there are admission and selection procedures that potential students have to go through.
Year 6 will be kids under 10 years old and in the primary level. So we scout them, so the coaches go and scout them, and we also have an open day process where kids come and have tryouts and with talent identification programs, and they have their skill test for each respective sports. So if they're inclined to perform better in certain sports, and the coaches will reach out to them, and then they undergo a fitness test, and that's it. They're in the Brunei Sports School program.
Traditional sports like silat and sepak takraw were introduced along non-traditional ones like badminton and football. Although the racket sport is struggling to compete with the more popular sports like football, it still has a good following. When our Badminton Unlimited team dropped by, the school team was busy going through their paces at one of their daily badminton training sessions.
Di sini training dilakukan 2 sesi.
There are 2 sessions of training, morning and afternoon. Morning sessions start at 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. Afternoon sessions are from 3:30 to 6 p.m. Our Monday morning sessions focus on strength and conditioning. We usually conduct physical training in the mornings, while afternoons are reserved for technical and tactical training.
Teknik dan taktik training.
The team consists of students from ages 11 to 18 years old. Throughout the last few years, shuttlers from Brunei Sports School medalled in many national and inter-school tournaments. But the team is still struggling at regional events. While the coaching staff is working tirelessly to improve on that, there is another pressing matter. The current team has a modest number of 8 players. Although the coaches are able to spend more quality time with each student, there is concern for the future.
Challenge yang utama ialah untuk mendapatkan.
One of the main challenges is to attract students into the school, because for most Bruneian parents, academic success is still the top priority compared to sport.
Daripada sukan di sini.
Discussions between the administrators of Brunei Sports School, ministries and the association are ongoing to address ways for potential athletes to realise their dreams.
We hope that we can achieve two-way communication with the various associations in terms of grasping the talent pool that we produce after they finish, and then letting them start in a national training program scheme. We're trying to pave a pathway for the next generation. We understand that Rome wasn't built in a day, so I think we need to have a lot of stepping stones in order to reach the levels of the Taufik Hidayats or Datuk Lee Chong Weis or Peter Gades.
Brunei Sports School is aware that it may be some time before they can produce world-class shuttlers. It may be a long haul, but it is the hope that one day the country will see a new generation of players wearing the Brunei crest on their chest. Earlier in the show, we asked you to name this player. I am a former world number 1. I made my senior international debut in 2006. I am a world champion at both junior and senior levels. The answer is Wang Yihan. The Chinese shuttler became the first women's singles player to win both the Asian Junior and World Junior Championships in 2006. Wang continued to impress on the senior circuit, and in 2009, she was the #1 women's singles player in the world. She repeated her World Junior and Asian Championships feat on the senior level as she won the World and Asian Championships in 2011. She has a total of 30 singles titles to her name. Wang is the most successful women's singles badminton player to date. Last week, the Grand Prix Gold Tour made its way to Asia as Jeonju hosted the Victor Korea Masters. The final day was dominated by the hosts as Kim Ji-jung and Kim Sa-rang went up against compatriots Ko Sung-hyun and Shin Bik-chol in the men's doubles final. Finishing runners-up at the recent Victor Korea Open was the closest the two Kims had come to winning a title this year and were desperate to get off the mark. Losing the first game did little to dampen their spirits as they took the next two to claim their long-awaited title. Final score 16-21, 21-18, 21-19. The women's doubles was next, and again it was an all-Korea showdown as Chang Ye-na and Lee So-hee faced Jung Hyun-yeon and Shin Seong-chan. Chang and Lee got off to an explosive start in the first game, only for their opponents to level the score in the second. The fifth-seeded pair eventually showed their edge in the rubber to take home the prize. 21-7, 16-21, 21-19, the final score. Continuing the Korean theme was the men's singles contest as Lee Dong-hyun took on Lee Hyun-il. It was a repeat of last year's final that saw Dong-hyun take home the honors. In this one, the defending champion remained defiant despite a slow start. Fighting back from a game down, Lee Dong-hyun went on to win the next two to clinch the title. The final score read 17-21, 21-14, 21-14. The women's singles final witnessed a matchup between Japan's Sayaka Sato and China's Sun Yu. Having already clinched the Swiss and OUE Singapore Opens this year, world number 11 Sun looked to be the favorite to take this one. But Sato proved to be the better player on the day. Last year's beaten finalist outplayed Sun in 2 games, 22-20, 21-19, the final score. Wrapping up the day was the mixed doubles final, as Koreans Ko Sung-hyun and Kim Ha-na squared off against compatriots Shin Bik-chol and Chae Yu-jung. World number 6 Ko and Kim were the on-form pair, having won back-to-back titles at the French and Denmark Opens. They made it a hat-trick after just over an hour of play, dispatching their opponents after 3 hard-fought games. Final score 19-21, 21-17, 21-19. After the break, we check in on Peter Gader and Kidambi Srikanth as they conclude their tour of Dubai. This week's Player of the Week is Japan's women's singles player Sayaka Sato. The world number 19 clinched her first title of 2015 at the recently concluded Jeonju Victor Korea Masters. With the likes of Akane Yamaguchi and Nozomi Okuhara already in the world's top 10, Sato's latest triumph is another testament to Japan's growing presence in the category. At the top of the show, we were with former great Peter Gader and men's star Kidambi Srikanth as they helped promote December's Dubai World Superseries finals. After gracing the Shuttle Time Schools Championships, India's top men's singles shuttler Kidambi Srikanth was whisked away for an exclusive tour of the city. But what was in store for former All England winner Peter Gader?
As you can see in my eyes, we are in the sun in Dubai. We just leaving the sports complex here and did a great prize ceremony. So many happy kids and so much fun in there, so I really love that. Time for a small break for me and then ready for more interviews, exhibition, have fun. Look forward to that.
While the promotional event saw Srikanth soaking up the culture, our Danish ace was only too happy to inspire more school children to take up badminton. He attended BWF's popular grassroots initiative, Shuttle Time, to encourage the participants. Gader knows only too well the importance of reaching out to the younger generation.
That's where it all started for me. For all of the players being stars today, it all started at the grassroots level. So that's where we have to start and promote the game as well. We all have a big passion for badminton. I'm sure I speak for all of the current stars as well, they come from a small club, from a small environment, local environment. So I think all of us would like to contribute back to that.
Having retired 3 years ago, the Scandinavian is excited to see how rapidly the sport has grown. He feels that while the World Superseries finals have always been a grand finale to the season, the recent partnership with one of the world's iconic sporting hubs has certainly upped the ante.
And this is about racing the game. This is about showing badminton at its best. And I think why not do that at the final stage, at the season endings, and that's what we are doing. This is an Olympic year, so you're going to see even more focus from everyone. All of them want to do a good performance here, that's for sure.
So after a good outing with the lucky kids, it was time for the former world #1 to reunite with his Indian counterpart. Lined up was a public exhibition match between the two stars, but with a special twist.
Yes, right now it's about late afternoon and I'm at the creekside. It's a lovely place. Actually, I just come from visiting some schools in Dubai, a boys' school and a girls' school. I really enjoyed that. So now, I thought I tried everything in badminton, but obviously I didn't. This is a badminton court, and I'm gonna play with Srikanth here. I'm not sure how that's gonna be, but we're gonna do our best and have fun.
When I was told yesterday that I'm gonna play him in the exhibition match, I was very excited, because that's really a pretty big thing for me. Because I've seen him play, we've seen his trick shots, we've practiced it when we were young, so it's good to play him. I never thought I would get a chance to play him. Thought of playing some trick shots, but actually, it was tough for us to contact the shuttle there. It was hard time playing there.
Against the backdrop of Dubai's quayside, it was a unique playing experience for both leading men. Never mind that the outdoor setting didn't exactly have the perfect conditions to dish out world-class badminton, it did little to rob the bigger intent of the event. For Srikanth, it's been a day to savor.
It's nice to be that way. Like, I've never done so many events in a single day, so it's good to go there, interact with the children, and then go somewhere else, interact with the public, and then go somewhere else, play the exhibition match. It's kind of a different feeling. It's a experience which you don't get very often.
Another promotional tour done, another round of success. All thanks to the two stars who've spearheaded this campaign and are doing their bit for the future of the sport.
For me, badminton brings so many good things. There's not only one thing, it's about the physical and mental challenge. You need to be able to do every stroke with perfection, and you need to be able to think tactically on court, maybe play with a partner. There's so many good things in it, so why not pass that on to a young generation?
Before we go, let's find out what's happening on the international circuit in our Badminton Unlimited calendar. Next week on Badminton Unlimited, we're in Bahrain as we report from the Festival of Badminton. See you next week.